Okay, hi. Here's another review. I mentioned this in the previous one, another crystal set. This one also doesn't say which company. Definitely not National Geographic, or Kids Lab. This is the one. Yeah, let me go this way. One thing's for sure, the pictures are correct. And so is the amount of time it takes to let them grow. Like, there's 10, that's 10 minutes, that's 30, and that's, 120 minutes, which is basically 2 hours. Yeah, so, yeah, when I tried it, that's basically correct. That was fully correct. Although non-toxic, it says on the front, that's wrong actually, because if it was non-toxic, it wouldn't have so many warnings. I unfortunately don't have the paper, the instruction paper that shows all these warnings. I wish I did. Unfortunately, I threw it out. I kept the box, so yeah, I would do the review. I'm guessing I had intentions to do a review this entire time on something. I just didn't know what until I was disappointed about something. And of course I'm gonna do the review on Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I got a lot to say, and I'm gonna say it in separate videos because that's a lot. At first, I didn't have much to say, but now I got it on DVD and I've been watching it. That's a lot. There's a lot to say about it. Well, first off, this video's about this crystal rock set, or shall I say water crystals. Yeah, Hobby Lobby, it was just 10 bucks. Yeah, when I went to Hobby Lobby, I saw these, sets, like the Shark Tooth Dig Kit from National Geographic, that was 10 bucks. Kids Lab, Crystal Mine, that was 10 bucks. And the crystal thing that I showed in the previous video, that was $6.99, and this was 10 bucks. Man, I need to switch my toothbrush. I said in the description of my previous video that I'm probably coughing from either food that I recently ate that could have some kind of peanuts in it, because my nut allergy has increased, or it could be from dogs because we did a lot of deshedding dog clients. Well, deshedding and denatting, so that's a lot of dog fur. And yesterday we did 2 golden retrievers, so that is indeed a lot of fur. And the fact that my bed is in front of a, whatever you call those heater thingies that are inserted into the walls, like the heat and air, they're like in the walls. Like, you don't need to plug an air conditioner into the window, they're just like in the walls itself. My bed's literally in front of one, so I basically inhale the air throughout the whole night, so so don't assume that it's COVID, but that's a subject I'll go on in another video. But right now it's just this. Yeah, so far this was basically one that I was most disappointed about, but at the same time most excited about, because water crystals, and I wanted to try it, especially when it was like 10 bucks. Usually stuff is expensive, but Hobby Lobby, you can get stuff very cheap, and there's very unique toys there. And well, I tried this, but I never expected just how many warnings there are in it. And especially the fact that it says 10 and up, like, that shocked me when I saw the instructions and there were so many warnings. And I'm like, we gotta put the cats away, meaning their rooms, because one of them is a very curious cat. Especially she's like 2 months old, I think, 3 months old. And my cat likes to get into trouble when she's bored or wants my attention, because I'm hardly around as much, or I'm paying attention to our dog. Not this girl, unfortunately. That's something I'm gonna talk about in a different video too. Well, anyway, on the box it has like 11 instructions, and well, it only mentions 2 warnings on the front, but on the paper it had like more than that. I believe it had almost like 6 to 7 warnings. But the one that definitely is on here is that it has chemicals and can be harmful if misused. So I don't understand how it can be available for 10-year-olds if it can be harmful to, if it's misused. Sure, under adult supervision, but come on. I hate to admit it, but I'm 28 and yet, I managed to fail this. Oh yeah, I managed to fail this. No, I don't mean like spill the chemicals on the floor. No, I don't mean that. I just failed to get it right at the end. Well, anyway. Well, first off, of course, I got confused of what lukewarm water is again. Basically, lukewarm water, it's basically just water, warm water, room temperature water, basically warm water. It says empty bottles of growing solution into glass jar, add 4 cups of lukewarm water to jar, which that's impossible, cause a jar is not huge, especially, it's not huge at all, cause I know it wasn't, a jar is not huge, big enough for that much water, cause instead of a jar, I put it in the biggest bowl I had, and whoa, it actually almost filled the largest bowl I had. And it was 4 cups of water plus these 2 bottles of chemicals, like growing chemicals. Yeah, and plus, well, I didn't even need all of it for a small tank. But still, you have to anyway, in order to make it work. Just, well, make sure you completely rinse out the bowl in the sink after you're all done. Well, first off, if you do have cats and anyone who likes to be touchy, make sure you deal with the bowl immediately while keeping an eye on the tank. Well, first off, make sure your sink is completely empty of any dishes and stuff, because I wasn't sure how toxic it may be, the chemicals may be, because even though it did say toxic, but by the fact it said maybe harmful, I kind of didn't believe that it was non-toxic. Especially the fact that it was irritating my skin. Because, yeah, on the instructions it says it may irritate skin. And it was irritating my skin. And it was not my intention to touch it. It says do not touch the stuff. But when I was putting some in the tank, my hand actually touched the bowl, like the bowl of it itself. And yeah, I felt it, and I immediately had it to go wash my hands and also clean up the mess on the table, because it got on the table too. And the youngest cat was getting close to it, so we had to put her away. Other than that, these crystals do grow, but I don't think you should put foil on it. Like the first one said, the number one of the instructions says, place piece of aluminum foil along inside bottom of the aquarium. It's an option, but it says it will protect bottom of the aquarium, and it also could be for multiple uses. I did it, but you'll probably believe what happened, but at the same time, you probably won't. When I did, instruction number 10, and that's to wash away the leftover chemicals after the crystals were done growing, my crystals fell out, and they broke all over the sink. So basically, I wasted a lot of paper towels to scoop as much of the crystals as possible, and I had to clean up the sink, wash my hands multiple times, and I had to make sure I threw out everything that was exposed to the crystals and the chemicals, including the tank, because my crystals were just completely destroyed. Yeah, and you probably don't want to keep adding the crystal rocks, because even though they say you can add more as you desire, you probably don't want to do that. You probably just want to put them in before you start, because if you keep adding them as they grow, they'll get destroyed, because that's what happened to like there was one that I loved the most, like this blue one. It grew so big and perfect, but as I add more, it got destroyed. Like, I was so upset. Well, I was frustrated, but at the end, when all the crystals fell out, I was upset. So yeah, even though I do want to try this again, but at the same time, I'm not going to. My mom is finally gonna come home, and I just don't want to expose her to this, and I don't want to expose my niece to this or any other cats. Yeah, so I am not getting this again. I'd rather stick with National Geographic, because it's in a jar and you can keep it in a jar, not in a tank that it can easily tilt over. But if you're the type of person that's able to keep that in a place where nobody won't get a hold of it or it won't easily knock down, then yeah, then that's the type of crystal stuff for you. But me, chaotic animals, and and the safety of those who can't really be exposed. Even I shouldn't really be exposed to stuff that smells, because actually this one smelled more than I don't know if the National Geographic crystal one had a chemical smell. I don't know, it's been a while. But if it did, it didn't smell like anything. But this one did. So I'd rather stick with the National Geographic version. Yeah, because I think it's more safe. But yeah, if you prefer the tank one, which it does work, just, yeah, I think you should not put the foil in, because you'll break your crystals right away. And just put the crystal rocks in at the beginning. Like, don't try to add them. They'll break as soon as you toss them in. And yes, some of the instructions are on the back, but still you should read the ones on the paper inside, and make sure you read all the warnings. And I suggest you don't let kids do this, no matter how old they are or who's watching them. I don't think you should let kids do that one. They should stick to the small ones. Even this one, so far has not dissolved its color yet. I don't think it's going to. And darn it, this video is too long for Instagram, so I guess it's sticking to YouTube. I'll just put a link or mention it in one of my videos. Anyway, yeah, that's my review for this one. Bye.